What is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Jermaine, main on MMA, and today we are talking. All right, we are reacting to last night's UFC 311 Merab. All right, I said it should be the main event. If you follow me on X, I said Merab versus Umar should have been elevated to the main event, and it was fight of the night. By the end of the night, felt like I was pretty right. I also thought Islam Makhachev versus Moicano was going to only go one round, and I thought Makhachev was going to take him down and sub him. I was like, he could stand up and play kickboxing. All right, you don't play kickboxing, but stick with me. As I'm saying, I was looking at that fight. They announced the replacement of Arman Tsarukyan to be Renato Moicano. I was like, dude, Makhachev could stand up with this guy and play kickboxing for as long as he wants. But as soon as he decides to take that dude down, this is a one-round fight. He's just going to take him down and sub him, just choke him out. And that's exactly what he did. He took him down. There's like a minute left, and he finished the fight. Finished the fight in the first round, exactly as I thought. So it was not too eventful. He becomes the GOAT at lightweight, the winningest champion at lightweight. No one's defended the belt, 5 times before? This was supposed to be a fight against Arman Tsarukyan. A lot of people were picking Arman Tsarukyan to defeat Islam Makhachev in the rematch, and we don't get to see that fight. Dana White in the post-fight press conference says no to a possible rebooking of Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. He says they will not rebook that fight. So he says it's back to the drawing board. For some reason, Arman is not getting the title shot. Maybe because they all saw the video that I saw. I don't know if you guys saw it. Arman Tsarukyan they said he tweaked his back on Tuesday leading up to the fight. And then everybody's showing how they dropped that video of him like rolling around on his neck. And they said he tweaked his back, and the whole thing, he's with Nina Drama, all right? Thirst trap Nina Drama, who, respect to her, do your thing. But it is what it is. She uses her assets as she should. And so she's walking into the room, and it's weird to me. These niggas, it's like these fighters, man. They're millionaires. They've never been around. They had to have been around women, but it seems like they've never been around a woman before, because then they flip out and like, oh shit, I gotta do. He's spinning around his neck. He's trying to impress Nina Drama. And people are alluding to, like, this right here happened in the week leading up to the fight. He's moving around all crazy on the mat, on his neck, spinning his whole body around. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm just guessing. I don't know if that's what's happened, but that's my assumption from the videos that were put out there. All right, that's what happened. He hurt his back trying to impress Nina Drama. Why are you guys trying to impress a fucking personality? You know what I'm saying? A random personality. Like, it's weird, man. It's just weird. But he lost his title fight. He had to step out of his title fight, and now he has to fight again to reclaim a title shot. He is not going to get the title fight after this. Both of these fighters, as I'm saying, both these fighters made it out of this fight relatively unscathed. 15 points landed between the two. 15 punches or 15 strikes landed between the two gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Total in the whole bout. This is a one-round fight. Both men walked out of there relatively unscathed. You could book them both for UFC 312. They could all go fight on the undercard of Israel Adesanya's Saudi Arabia card against Imavov coming up in 2 weeks. Yeah, we're off for 2 weeks. No UFC for 2 weeks, ladies and gents. Yeah, we're off. Let's look at some of these fights. I gotta look at them. Let's look at Tapology. Yeah, as I said though, Makhachev Moicano fight, uneventful. Ended as I thought it would. Exactly as I thought it would. You got Ilia Topuria calling out Islam. I don't know. I'd like to see the fight. You know what I'm saying? Part of me, I feel like a lot of people are saying like, oh, man, Umar was going to walk through Merab, and he went there and showed you like that's not what it is. I feel like a lot of people thought Peyton Talbot was going to walk through Raoni Barcelos, but guess what? It's not what happened, man. The experience means so much. You guys got to understand how much experience means, and anything can happen on the night. Anything can happen on the night. So I'm rolling. I mean, I'm on the side of I would love to see Islam versus Ilia Topuria. I don't know if that would be the next fight. I see no reason why not. You're not going to make the Arman Sarukian fight. You're not making the Arman fight. So in the co-main event, as I picked, if you guys went over to Cav Kick Sports, saw the prediction, I picked Merab to just tire this dude out. And I knew a lot of people felt like the wrestling between the two fighters were going to kind of cancel each other out. And yes, Umar was able to get up. He was able to get out of, to defend a lot of those takedowns. He had successfully defended like 20 takedowns. Like at one point in the fifth round, they're like, he's already defended 20 takedowns. Like, it's insane. All right. Merab threw what they said 49 takedowns against Petr Yan. As I said in my prediction, even though Umar can grapple, he's Dagestani, he trains with Khabib. I was saying I don't like his style because he doesn't really rely on the wrestling. He relies mainly on the kickboxing. That's his bread and butter. And I said, because of that, Merab's constant takedown attempts, constantly coming at you, he was going to tire that boy out and win the fifth round decision. And that's exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does experience matter, actually watching the fights matter, I guess, because you guys are rolling with a name. All right. I did see the Corey Sandhagen fight, but leading up to that Corey Sandhagen fight, I already had my hesitations for Umar. You know what I'm saying? I already didn't like his style. You know, and I'm just the guy here talking. It doesn't really necessarily mean he has a bad style. I'm just a guy here that didn't like his style, and I saw the flaws. All right, even though they're like, oh, he's a grappler, he can wrestle. I saw the flaws immediately that Merab was going to be too much for him. Merab was the underdog. All right, the champion underdog coming into this fight, and he wins in great fashion. All right, big showboat. 67% in Tapology went with Nurmagomedov. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But Umar is 29 years old, now 18-1. I feel like he'll still be champion one day. I feel like he'll definitely be champion one day. I feel like he's still the toughest fight for Merab. All right? He's still the toughest challenger to beat Merab. I feel like Merab beats everybody. And then it's still kind of 50-50 with Umar, especially after Umar has faced this. He's felt this. He knows what this is. He knows what he's up against. All right. I think Umar is definitely the guy, the toughest fight still at 135. That was a great fight, ladies and gentlemen. Great fight. Thank you to both of those gentlemen for that fight. People in LA are crazy because they booed Umar. When the camera came to Umar, they booed him as if he didn't put on a phenomenal performance in there. That was a great fight. All right. Very high level. That's some of the most high level stuff we've seen in the UFC. Do not boo that man. Boo yourselves. All right. Boo yourselves. Yuri Prochazka knocks out Jamal Hill. Jamal looked really sloppy in the first round. He looked like the worst Jamal Hill I've ever seen in the first round. And Yuri had head movement. He was moving around. He was moving and grooving, ladies and gentlemen. And he looked great in the first round. Jamal Hill starts coming on strong in the second round, starts landing. And Yuri finishes the fight in the third round. It was split 1-1, in my opinion, going into the third. And Yuri does this thing where he just extends the combinations, all right? It's almost like, well, it's not almost like, I say most people fight in a rhythm, all right? And for most exchanges, people usually back up a certain like distance if you're coming at them in a strike, and if they choose to move backwards, the smart thing to do, like what Merab did and what his coaches were telling him, they're like, you're getting caught from Umar when you're backing straight up. Move to the side so he can't line those shots up. And it really start after in the third round. All right, go back. All right, you will see how like Umar was catching Merab with some shit in the first 2 rounds, but then the corner tells him, stop moving backwards in a straight line, move to the sides. And you would see how like you would start to see it in the third round. Like there were moments where Merab would back up in a straight line and Umar would start to set something up, and then Merab would go off to the side, and that would completely stifle. It would stifle Umar Nurmagomedov. All right. And I say that because a lot of these fighters move backwards and they know that people are in this rhythm. So they'll maybe take 2-3 steps back. But people like Yuri, all right, Yuri's not going off that same rhythm. He's going to come at you with those 2-3 strikes. He's coming forward, but then he keeps coming. All right. He's not going to just like throw 2-3 strikes. He's going to throw like 10-15 at you. If he can, he loves that chaos. He thrives in the chaos. It's what he wants, which is why even after knocking out Jamal Hill, he's like, fuck, I want a third fight with Alex Pereira. Like, and he had to say it like that because he knows that's obnoxious. All right. You just got knocked out twice by Alex Pereira. And he's like, fuck, I want a third fight with Alex Pereira. Like, because it sounds crazy, but like, what else do you do with this man? What else do you do with this man? His only losses in the UFC are to Alex Pereira. He's finished everybody else. Yuri's 30-5-1. He's good. That was a great fight last night, man. Great fight. Did that win bonus? I don't think so. Let's see. Oh, yeah, performance of the night. That fight was performance of the night. You got Merab, got fight of the night, and Jailton Almeida and Sergey Spivak was performance of the night for Jailton. I didn't watch that fight. I thought Sergey was going to win, but I heard it was a pretty good first round. Like I was looking at X. My phone was about to die. I was at work, and I was like, I'm not finna waste my battery on this fight. And and I was reading X, and everybody's like, oh, Sergey's looking good. He's raining down elbows, I kept hearing, like, I'm reading it, and it's like, it sounds like Sergey was beating his ass. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing people post, like, the winner, Almeida. And I'm like, what are they talking about? They're joking. And it's like, no, he actually won. Everything I was reading was that Sergey was dominating this dude. That's what I was reading. But anywho. So for Merab, I don't know who Merab fights next. All right, Merab fights anybody. Oh, I jumped backwards. I'm so sorry. I was already moving on to Hill and Prochazka. I don't know if Prochazka fights anybody other than Alex next because, well, there is nobody. Alex is already, they announced earlier in the night that Alex is fighting Ankalaev at UFC 311. So I guess Yuri can try to stay healthy, be the backup for that fight. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that fight happens, but I don't necessarily want to see another Yuri Alex fight. I like to see Alex beat Ankalaev and then move up to heavyweight if that's what he wants to do. And then we could have like Yuri versus Ankalaev or Yuri versus whoever. But I don't want to see Yuri get knocked out again by Alex Pereira. I don't think that fight's necessary. I think Jamal Hill, man. I don't know. Where does Jamal Hill train? All right. Where does he train? Black Lion Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Michigan. Oh, does he still train in Michigan? I thought he'd moved to Vegas. I'm pretty sure he trains in Vegas. I'm certain he trains in Vegas these days. Tapology needs to update their information. Rainer de Ritter dominates Kevin Holland as I thought. I was like, yeah, it's going to be a one-round fight. Or he's like, he's just going to take him down and just beat him up. Sub him. That's exactly what happened, man. Peyton Talbot loses to Raoni Barcelos. It's funny. People were seeing Frank Ocean post, like, you got to cook tonight, P. Like, giving him motivation for the fight. Peyton Talbot unfortunately lost. And you know what's funny? Somebody posted the lyrics to one of my favorite Frank Ocean songs, Chanel. And it's like, my guy pretty like a girl, and he got fight stories to tell. And I was like, damn, that's probably, he could be talking about Peyton Talbot. I'm not sure. How old is Peyton Talbot? Peyton Talbot, 26? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. He could be talking about Peyton. He could be talking about Peyton. But Peyton Talbot loses to Raoni Barcelos. Barcelos took him down about 8 times. Yeah, it was just the experience of the grappling, and just, he's a savvy veteran, Barcelos. All right. Peyton Talbot, we see where the holes are there. We see what he needs to work on. I think this is a great experience for Peyton Talbot. You know what I'm saying? I think Peyton Talbot could come back a lot better. You know what I'm saying? As they were even saying in the commentary, you don't want Peyton Talbot to not face a challenge like this, and then he gets moved up too fast and has to fight like a Umar or a Merab and has never faced something like Raoni Barcelos. We're talking about 8 times, all right? He's never had to deal with that before. It's a good thing that he had this. And when we know what he needs to work on to make it to that next level. But I still think Peyton is something special, man. I was going crazy in that 3rd round. Come on, Peyton. I thought he was going to come do it. I thought he was going to do it and knock this dude out in the 3rd round. But unfortunately, Barcelos was just some slick takedowns, man. Honestly, shout out to Barcelos. This was a good card, man. Good card throughout, man. Karol Hossa, you let me down. Mawin Gafarov, that dude looked like a monster. All right, he looked like a problem at 135. All right, pay attention to that guy. That guy is on the come up. He's friends with Merab. Merab gave him a shout out after his win. They fight the same weight class. That dude, Mawin Gafarov, he looked pretty good. Bernardo Sopaj, beast. Ricky Tercio's monster, dude. That dude's like a zombie coming forward. He's great. That was a good fight. Tagir Ulanbekov, Clayton Carpenter. The first fight, man. Clayton Carpenter, that boy's game. All right. He's got great grappling. All right. He just wasn't up to the level of these Dagestanis. He was just like a step behind. But man, that boy is game. I like Clayton Carpenter. This was a good card. All right. It was a good card all in all. Unfortunately, that's all we get for now. There's no more fights for another 2 weeks, ladies and gents. But we can always go to Fight Pass, watch some older fights. You can chill here with your boy Jermaine Event as we react to some MMA content, combat sports content over the next 2 weeks. This is the channel to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know what you guys thought about UFC 311. Who do you think Makhachev should fight next? Who do you think Merab should fight next? Who do you think Yuri Prochazka should fight next? What was your favorite fight, favorite moment? What did you guys think about the Inuit Dome? I thought that dome looked amazing last night. Let me know what you guys thought about UFC 311. Let me know in the comments, ladies and gents. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys when I see you. I'll holla.